Okay guys, so today we're going to cover looking at Master Sauer on the mount here in a rolling session of one of his videos posted to the association YouTube channel online. So check that out if you haven't seen it. It's some really nice things to look at and study there. But we're looking at it today from the mount context, and we're going to see if we can identify some of the strategies, responses that we've looked at in our online Mount SYS-tems course so far. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through this video with regards to the mount position and see if we can identify some of the strategies that we've been working on in the course and the responses or the counters that we can make to the responses that opponents are likely to make from this position. So we're going to start the video here. So you can see Master Sauer is maintaining the mount. He's got his hands out for base. He's got his heels tucked. So this is a lower mounted position at the moment that we may cover in more detail in another Mount SYS-tems course. But you can see here, base, he's got his hooks in, feet tucked to avoid knee elbow escape, knees spread. To enable the feet to be tucked, but let's have a look and see what happens here. So you can see here the foot is stuck at the moment, and now Master Sauer allows his opponent to trap the arm, and you can probably see a little smirk on his face right there. So right here, what we're looking at is we're going to have a look at a counter strategy to the bridge, and this shows itself quite a number of times in this video. We had a look at this response. You can see a very traditional trap of the arm from the opponent on the bottom, grabbing the wrist and cupping the tricep or the elbow there. Now we looked at this in the Mount SYS-tems course in week 3, how to counter this defensive strategy of our opponent as it pertains to our Mount system. Now we're going to see and have a look and see what happens in this roll here. So you can see they're both smiling. He tries to bridge. Now look at that. So you can see now the angle, although he freed his arm for base, you'll also see the angle that Master Sauer has created with his body, which is a little bit of a diagonal angle here, almost like heading towards a cross body, which enables greater base out to this side of the body. And also now, because Master Sauer is able to free his hands, he has his hands to be able to drive his hips back should he need to after he's dealt with the legs here. So we can have a look here. So you can see now he's pushing back off the hands, and now look at that. So the week 1 of the Mount SYS-tems course, we looked at this frog foot strategy, this defensive strategy. You can see at the moment that his opponent has started to try and bridge and do this knee elbow escape variation, which we had a look at countering in week 1 of the Mount SYS-tems course. So you can see he's pushing on the knee, Master Sauer, and allows the knee to be a little bit freer, but maintains the frog foot to deny the escape. What you're not seeing on the other side here is Master Sauer is likely pinching his knee in this way because he's able to turn his body a little more cross body. He's been able to turn his knee in on the other side to almost keep a little pinch on the opponent's body. So his body is connected to his opponent. So if the opponent on the bottom bridges or shrimps away, his body will follow because he is pinched and attached to the body here, keeping the foot pinching on this side and the knees potentially turned on an angle here, pinching into the hip to enable this connection, which even when the opponent shrimps on the bottom, his body will follow and maintain this same cage that his legs are maintaining on the mount. So yeah, so week 1 of the Mount SYS-tems course, we had a look at that, and you can see there it was. So if we go back a tiny little bit, we didn't cover this aspect as much because this is a little bit lower position, but at the moment you'll be able to see, there it is. See that? The foot was out on this angle a little bit, pinching the knee and enabling them Master Sauer to kind of stay connected while he was on his side trying to dig out this knee or foot. So Master Sauer drives back off the hands and maintains the mount position. And now we're here again. So maintaining the position there, using the hands to keep weight, and shaking the head. It's beautiful watching the rolls like this. So you can see here, opponent adopted a pushing the hip strategy. We looked at countering this in another way in our high mount course that we're looking at the moment, the Mount SYS-tems course we're talking about. This one we might cover in more detail in a lower Mount SYS-tems course, but you can see here Master Sauer is making his hips heavy, driving back off his hands to counter the pressure on the hips there. And here we go. So now you're going to notice this, Master Sauer allows the hand to be trapped again. So again, we're going to see this again, foot is trapped. Now what happens here is Master Sauer went to the shoulder here, but you'll notice that Master Sauer's head came away from his opponent's head. And he kind of caught a little bit of base on this shoulder and the knee on the bottom. So again, this is the same mechanics that we were looking at in the week 3 of our Mount SYS-tems course. So catching the weight on this opposite shoulder, almost like a diagonal kind of a base point here, almost heading towards cross spines, and then catching the base. So now what you're going to see here as well is, look at this leg. Master Sauer stretches the leg back, and as he catches his hands, he can push back off his hands too, to kind of counter the weight, to put more weight on the other side of this seesaw with the fulcrum of the opponent that is on the bottom, enabling him to drive weight back to retain and regain the mount position. And now he's up a bit higher, look at that. And now look at that, oh, very interesting. Okay, check this out. I didn't see this on the first run through of the video, but look at this. So he tries to do this little bridge, his elbow on the inside moving out. Now notice Master Sauer, he's pinching the heel here. The knee is wider, but he still has his foot blocking the opponent's bottom thigh, the bottom femur entry, the knee elbow escape here. And what this has done, as we covered in week 1 of our Mount SYS-tems course, is we're able to prevent the recovery of this knee on the inside by keeping this foot pinching in. And you'll notice here that Master Sauer is also kind of using the lapels here to kind of keep himself a little bit weighted, hooked forward, so he doesn't get shifted too much over this way. But look at that, see that foot on the inside, it was there, right? And now what he's done is now he started to recover the position with the foot on the femur. So beautiful. And now look at this. So this is now another counter. So you can see here that the opponent on the bottom is adopting a monitor strategy here. So another way of defending this hand in the collar, high mounted position. So what you're seeing here is you're seeing this opponent adopt the monitor strategy, and you're going to see a counter here from Master Sauer that we're due to cover in week 4 of the Mount SYS-tems course. So this bicep pin. So in week 4 of this Mount SYS-tems course, we're going to cover this, as which you can see by looking at your course guide. So he's pinned the bicep right here, and now you'll notice with this little bicep pin, he's now kind of dealt with this arm, kept it out of the way, and now all he has to do is deal with this other arm. And we're going to cover this next week in our week 4 of our Mount SYS-tems course. So look at that, he's smiling there. Now look at that, he frees the arm, goes back to the monitor strategy, but here there's a little disconnect. And you'll notice over this side that the opponent, I think, is quite tight with his hand there potentially. But what Master Sauer has been able to do, like as we covered last week in week 3 of the Mount SYS-tems course, we covered this little counter here when someone's very tight on this side or we're not able to get the cross choke. What we can do is we can drop the elbow over the other side of the head or the hand, which will then enable us to move up the mount. Look at that. Because what happens here is, oops, where are we? Because what happens here, if we just replay it back a little bit now, is you're going to see, look at this, he goes over, he blocks the head, and this will enable us to move up the mount without our opponent being able to drop his elbow back to the floor. Because if we can block the head here from moving away, we can prevent the elbow from dropping back to the floor while we're trying to move up the mount. So look at that, he's wedged the head, which enabled him to trap the head and arm together. Now in week 3 of our course, we covered this counter. We did it to an S mount position. However, in this video, you'll notice Master Sauer doesn't go to the S mount, potentially because his opponent's elbow is low on this side, or maybe he just chose to finish in this way. But his foot's still down near the hip here, but you'll see he slid up because he blocked that head, and now he has an arm lock on this arm. And as you see here, he's going to now push it back, and there was a little tap there by his partner, I think, with his foot. So catching it under the armpit there and then pulling it back to hyperextend the elbow into the hips. And then as we keep going, Master Sauer dismounts, but he still has the hand in the collar. He then goes for the collar. Look at that. He went for the collar, and then while he was defending the neck, of course, the opponent on the bottom, his elbows are higher while he's protecting his neck from a cross choke. And then as Master Sauer then takes the opportunity to take the arm. So that's beautiful. So great. It's so good to see these things done live rolling by a master in the art, and who we're so grateful for to have learned all of this, all of these strategies and mechanics from. Now we're going to continue. So the roll continues here into this sparring session with different positions from the guard position, but we're just going to track to when we get back to the mount here. Let's have a look for our purposes of our course at the moment. So you'll see Master Sauer's on the mount at the moment, a low mount where the hook's in and hips low. But what we're looking at here is just for the purposes of this is we've been looking at with the hand trapped here, with the hand in the collar. Anytime our frog foot gets compromised or we lose our balance to the north side, you see here his opponent has trapped the foot. Look at that beautiful trap there. He's got a little curled foot and everything. Anytime that our opponent traps the foot and traps the arm, or even if we lose our balance here and our frog foot here is compromised because our hand and also our hand is in the collar, I should say, what we have is this is the counter that we looked at in week 3 of the Mount SYS-tems course. So you can see here Master Sauer adopted more of a cross-body position of his spine in order to catch his balance. As his opponent bridged, he was able to free his knee a little bit to give a little bit of additional base out here. And what we did in week 3 of the Mount SYS-tems course is we looked at finishing the cross choke from here. Of course, we had caught it a little bit earlier, there's a potential cross choke finish there with that diagonal mount. However, now because he's been bridged out, you're going to see like a little retention strategy here, and there it is. Look at that. See how the feet came together? So we talked about this in week 1 of our Mount SYS-tems course, and that was countering the bottom, and also week 2 of the Mount SYS-tems course, we were countering the bottom knee elbow escape from this bridge. So you see here Master Sauer, as he got bridged, the feet came now together to counter his opponent shrimping backwards to try and expose the space to bring his legs back inside Master Sauer's legs. Look, he even crossed his legs there. And now this is looking, see, look, he tried to do a little shrimp backwards to try and, but he knows it's kind of futile here. And Master Sauer drives him back down with the hands on the mat once he frees his hands. So again, covering this video is beautiful because it shows a lot of the different strategies and mechanics that we've been looking at in our Mount SYS-tems course. Now from here, we've got base again. Master Sauer allows the hand to get trapped. And as we're here, watch this change of this shift in the angle. There we go. Look at that. See that little knee gave a little bit of base, and then Master Sauer was able to shift the angle of his spine again to capture more base. And you see the feet are together again to counter the knee elbow escape down the bottom. Now watch this. So this is a little counter attack that you're about to see that we covered in week 3 of our Mount SYS-tems course. However, this was from an underblock strategy. where the opponent blocks underneath the choking arm. However, in this situation, that move, the counter attack, just requires the elbow to be across the body. And then what we're going to look at here is you're going to see this. Check this out here. The arm is here checked. And watch Master Sauer now bring his arm back in there. Look at that, shaves it, brings it back to his knee, and he's going to hug his knee in a minute. And we're going to have a look at that, pretty much that finish where it's in the pocket, the arm's in the pocket, and it's a very brutal finish where there's a lot of leverage under the armpit. So we're going to see here, moves up the mount and captures, look at that, grabs the pants, and there was a tap. So beautiful to watch this video and to kind of analyze it for our purposes in the current position we're looking at in our systems course, in our systems academy. So it's just great to see it from such a master, and of course we're very grateful to him for teaching us and enlightening us to all of these mechanics, so that we can continue to progress in our understanding and spread the art that we love. So anyway, check it out. There's the videos there on YouTube if you want to watch the entire sparring session. But I hope this helps us in our analysis and our study of the mount position at the moment. I know it helps me to continually watch Professor Rolling and see all of the little details, or discover new details that he's using. So have a great day, guys, and keep studying, keep sharp. Hey guys, Cam here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Obviously I put that video together for students of the Mount SYS-tems course as part of the content we've been studying for the last 4 weeks. However, I thought I'd put it up here for everybody so that we can all continue to keep learning together and keep engaging with Jiu-Jitsu at this time. If you'd like to see more content like this, I'll be putting some more up so we can all keep continuing to learn together. So in order to see that content, please like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel so that when it goes up, you'll be able to see it. In addition, as I've had a lot of positive feedback on the course content and the ease of the learning process in the Mount SYS-tems course, I've decided that I'll be offering some additional courses very soon to keep us learning and engaged with Jiu-Jitsu at this time. So if you're interested in extensively looking at some of those positions that you find yourself in every day on the mat and learning the mechanics and the strategy that we can apply in that position to make us more effective, more efficient, and more comfortable in those positions, please keep your eyes open on the Facebook page and on the YouTube channel. I'll be releasing some more information on that very shortly. Otherwise, guys, keep learning, stay sharp, so that when we do get back to the academy, which will happen, we're going to be able to come back with a very Jiu-Jitsu savvy mind, where we're going to be able to understand deeply the philosophy, the strategy, and the mechanics and the principles of all the positions that we've been looking at while we've been away from the mat. Keep sharp, stay sharp, and when we come back, we're going to come back with a fresh mind and also with a mind that has been actively learning while we've been away from the mat. So stay sharp, keep learning. God bless you, and I hope and I pray that all your family are safe during this time. Take care. I'll see you soon.